We're going shopping. I'm trying to get braver about filming inside stores, so I thought I would bring you along with me as I shop for some vintage cookbooks. The footage in this video is from St. Vincent de Paul and Half Price Books. You seem to like the videos where I talk about my recent finds and where I shop for vintage cookbooks, so I thought this would just be an additional fun type of video to make. So let's go. You're dying to know which of the cookbooks I showed in the video actually came home with me. I'm gonna start with the books I found at St. Vincent de Paul. We have the Book of Appetizers, and I just love this cover. Look at this cover design. I want a wool blanket that looks like this. Let's see, this book was published in, it's in here, I know it's in here, 1958. I was very excited to find this. It has what looks like an original price tag for $1. The inside cover, the font, I mean, I just love everything about this. This one did appear in the footage. I had to get it. I think you could probably tell how excited I was when I found out what year it was published. The Cheese Cookbook. Also, I really love cheese. Who doesn't love cheese? Unless you're lactose intolerant, in which case I apologize. Sorry. Look at this beautiful glossy photo. That's sort of, other than the cover itself, which looked old, that's really what started to draw me in here, because I was like, this is definitely got a little age to it. And then I saw that it was published in 1942. I consider these very lucky finds. Usually at St. Vincent de Paul, I get things that are maybe from the 60s, but usually it's 60s, 70s, 80s. I think this is the oldest cookbook that I have found at that location. And this is a craft cookbook from 1942. So awesome there. I'm really excited. I mean, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing because I want to review it, but look at that photo. Oh yes, so I also picked up Elegant Fare from the Weber Kettle. And the reason I picked this up, it is older. I think it's from the 70s. We actually do have a Weber Kettle grill that we got for Christmas. I suspect that this, could be helpful considering we have the actual piece of equipment, they refer to in the book. I mean, you could probably use it on just about any grill, but I thought it was kind of fun to have the actual Weber Kettle grill book from the 70s. There's also in the back, these are still intact. there's like recipe cards, and you can, I don't know if the camera's picking them, but there's actual perforation there. So you could have torn these out. Whoever had this before me chose not to, and I'm glad that they made that decision because now I get to have it. I don't think I'm gonna be making a rack of lamb like that on the grill, but there's plenty of other recipes for me to try in here. And I wanna point out, I've mentioned this before, and if you are a collector, you probably already know this binding right here, this double ring binding. So if you spot that double ring binding, just grab that book and take a look at it because it usually means good things. Okay, this is like not exactly a cookbook. I don't know what you would call this. It's almost like, it's like an informational book about chicken. So almost all about chicken. I mean, courtesy of Foster Farms, Livingston, California. I think I paid about 50 cents for this. So, you know, even if it's not an actual cookbook, it was still an interesting thing that I was like, I think I need to get that. There are some recipes in here, and there's also like ways to prepare chicken. I don't have a date on this. I am gonna say like late 60s, early 70s, maybe. Yeah, I don't think it's older than the 60s. I guess I could also find out, maybe if anybody knows about logos and things, this Foster Farms logo, maybe I could find out what year that is from. That's one really good way to help you date vintage cookbooks that don't have a publication date in them. If it's like a product cookbook, you can kind of go back and see, okay, which logo were they using at which time period? And that will help you get a little bit of a ballpark as to, you know, when it was published. This is such an interesting book. More casserole cookery. And then there's the back of it. And it's like got this like wire kind of binding to it, and it's like a notepad almost, you know? This is from 1952, so another really lucky find on my part. I did go through this and there are some really interesting recipes in it. But yeah, I'm like, I guess you could kind of like stand it up that way on your table. Maybe that's why it was bound that way. Like maybe that was the point of it. By Marion Tracy for the devotees of the standard bestseller Casserole Cookery. So there's another one of these floating around that I need to find. I don't know if it's exactly in the same format or what, but I was very excited to get this one. My final two finds at St. Vincent de Paul. If you've seen my recent video, you'll know that I kind of gave myself away and said I have Betty Crocker's Dinner for Two cookbook in like a slightly newer edition, and that's this. I kind of forgot that I had just picked it up and I hadn't actually added it to my collection technically yet. And then the other one, this is one I've never seen before. It is called Betty Crocker's Baking Basics, and it's kind of like sideways. You have that lovely double wire binding. The way that it's formatted is like this. This one you can't, I would be hesitant to bend it all the way back, but it is like landscape instead of portrait. And it's just got standard methods, some basic recipes, frosting, muffins, cakes, breads, all kinds of things. I've never seen this before. It kind of makes me think maybe they made Betty Crocker's blank basics cookbooks for other categories. I don't know. But if you have any more information on this book, or if it was part of a series, like I would really, really like to know about that. So let me know in the comments. The Dinner for Two cookbook actually did have this like little bill of sale in it. It doesn't have a date, unfortunately, but it does have the month and the day, and then it says 19 blank. So at some point this was sold in, do I say the 1900s? So sometime in the 1900s, this was sold to someone. That's so weird. Let's move on to my half-price books finds. You saw a few of the books that I was looking at. I didn't bring all of them home, but here's what I did decide to buy. The old original Bookbinders Restaurant Cookbook. I didn't really know anything about this place, but it seems to have a pretty like long and storied history. It was a restaurant in Philadelphia that had been around for a long time. It seems like they went through some financial troubles in like the early 2000s. I don't believe it is open anymore. So tangent, I did find a video that someone took of the inside of the restaurant in like 1997. So I did get to see a little bit of like what it looked like. I do suspect that there are people out there watching who've been to this restaurant. So again, I would love details on this place. Or if you have this cookbook, if you've made any of the recipes and maybe how they compare to the actual dishes at the restaurant. A lot of seafood, actually, not gonna lie. I might not be able to cook a lot from this one because of my allergy. Okay, there's some chicken recipes. We're good, we're good. There's a tomato omelet, I'll be fine. I won't have to go to the hospital. So, okay, I know I just bought a giant book about tofu, but I had to have this one, Tofu Goes West. I think I had this book at one time, years and years ago, and it probably got donated or something in one of my fits of downsizing. We all have them. I have them less and less nowadays when it comes to my cookbooks. But there's a lot of like really tasty sounding recipes in here. Cheesy zucchini puff. Ooh, baked chili relleno, yum. Frozen tofu main dishes. I have to get more into this, but yeah, this one just looked really interesting and like a good addition to my tofu library that I'm building. I have like 2 tofu books now. Okay, finally, this one I was so excited about, you guys, and I did show it in the video a little bit. What attracted me was this teeny tiny, skinny little green sliver of green that I could see on the bookshelf. I pulled this out and I'm like, this looks like my fondue cookbook. So if you remember at the end of last year, I made my first fondue video and it was like an orange cover and it's kind of textured, and I opened it up. I opened this one up and sure enough, it's a potpourri press book. I love these little potpourri press books. I think they're so cute. They always seem to have some sort of like hand lettering going on. Really fun. This one is from 1969. Crepes and flaming desserts, like that just so complements the fondue cookbook to me. And this was in great condition too. Like this looks brand new. My fondue cookbook, the cover's a little beaten up, a little stained, but this, like, I don't know that anybody used it. I'll use it because it's mine now. I mean, green's my favorite color anyway, and that shade of green just really pulled me in. So, I mean, you'll see at half price books, maybe not quite as many vintage cookbooks available, but if you just kind of like stand there and really focus and really look at what's on the shelves, you'll find a few here and there. At first glance, it doesn't look like it. It just looks like a million copies of Cravings by Chrissy Teigen and Elton Brown cookbooks and stuff. Nothing wrong with those cookbooks, but just not what I'm personally looking for. You just gotta take your time. You just gotta have some patience. You could walk away with something really fun. So those are my latest finds. I know I keep publishing finds videos. You know, I don't go thrifting all the time for these books, I promise you. It's just that I've gone a few times and I've kind of like saved up a bunch of finds to show you because I can't just do finds videos every week. I mean, I could, but like, I'd probably fill up this bookshelf really fast and it's already almost full at this point. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about vintage cookbooks, collecting, anything like that, I am always happy to answer. I'm by no means an expert, but I am happy to share my knowledge with you. So leave any questions you have in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking on the red button below and maybe give this video a like. I post videos that focus on food, vintage cookbooks, and retro recipes every single week. So if that's your thing, come join me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!